Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I am your host, Grace. And before we get into our topic, can we move past the stereotypes? As you know, the Life Happens podcast is a podcast where we take our spirituality with everyday practical things to create this beautiful balance that you see before you. Because I like to say, my word for the day or every day is I am balanced, right? Because balance is so important, especially when we're talking about the topic today. Can we move past the stereotypes? So before we get into it, hey ladies.
Hey.
Okay, you know it's Memorial Day weekend. What we doing? What's the plans? Who's cooking? Whose house are we coming over to?
Right?
Yeah, I'm working.
Oh, 'cause I know you started a new job. You downtown Dallas, right?
I did. I did start a new job, but I'm trying to get out of my little situation. So on the weekends, I'm working at a country club on Possum Kingdom Lake. So
Okay.
nice, wealthy area, good tips.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a big weekend this weekend, so I could
Oh
use
yeah.
them.
So is there a particular dress code?
I froze.
At your job on the weekend.
I'm sorry, my computer froze. What happened?
Okay, your job on the weekend, is there a particular dress code?
For me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we wear like polos with black pants.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a golf course country club on the lake. So,
girl, you may meet your husband over there.
Hey, you think she worked at Hooters or something?
Hey, she probably asked because I have a history of other type of places.
No, that's not why I was asking.
Oh.
Because I'm thinking you can make more tips.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's a very wealthy area. So the one thing that I've learned is like, I mean, every once in a while, if like someone gets something small, like $5, but no, it's 10, it's 20, 30, 40, 50, 75, 100, 200. Like I've got some nice tips, and the season hasn't even started yet. So I'm going to keep it through the summer. So I've been working 7 days for the last month.
Oh wow.
We need to have a video on tip culture and all the tipping that people.
That would be great. I think people don't tip. They don't tip well at all. Like,
well, I don't tip at fast food restaurants.
No.
You know.
I mean, like restaurants, I do tip though. I don't mind tipping, like for sure.
If I have a server, I'm tipping for sure.
You're right. Now, if you piss me off and I send my food back, I ain't eating, and you ain't getting no tip. Hold on, let me tell you, what's the place that pisses me off all the time? Cheddar's in Mesquite. I can't go back.
It's always so ghetto.
It is. It's like I can't. Somebody asked me on the board one time.
That's just Cheddar's, because Cheddar's in Grand Prairie is bad too.
Yeah,
I will never go back there.
You know, I've never been to Cheddar's.
No.
Really?
Wow.
No, ma'am. Nah. We need to
I
go
always
to
say that every time I pass one. I'm like, I've never eaten there before.
Take you to Cheddar's for your birthday.
I don't know about that.
Someone told me if anyone is looking for a job, so this is for anyone out there that's looking for a job, Meals on Wheels is hiring.
Okay.
I'm just throwing it out there. I just heard that.
Nah, I'd rather no, because my kids told me they want to do Instacart and DoorDash, and would I drive with them? My eldest asked me. I was like, okay, because I don't want her to go by herself. So maybe she can go with her brother. I don't know, but I heard there's good tips with that, so we'll see. If she wants to make extra money, so
I don't think you get tips when you do Meals on Wheels, but
no, I don't think
they
so.
said the most you can make is about $1,500 a month.
No, baby.
Well,
yeah, because that's like a nonprofit organization, ain't it?
Right.
That would be more like if you want to be in the giving heart to help the elderly or something.
Right. So, see, that's why it doesn't pay that well. But you only work like 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
No.
That's not bad though. 2 hours.
I thought it was a full day. I'm sorry, I cannot do that now.
No, it's like 2 hours. 2 hours around lunchtime. That's it. You
Oh,
have your little route. You drop off their food, and then you leave, and that's it.
Kim, what are your plans this weekend?
This weekend, oh yes. This weekend, what is going on this weekend? Last weekend was so busy. I had graduation parties, I had baby showers. This weekend, I just have parent meetings. We have camp coming up, so a lot of parent meetings and trying to get all the paperwork this week. So that's pretty much what I'm doing this weekend.
So you are having a boring Memorial Day weekend. I hear you.
Yes. Hopefully William will grill though. I'm asking him.
So
Smoke me some meat.
I told my kids that we're gonna start grilling. I don't know how to grill. The last time I grilled, it tastes like charcoal. But I've been watching YouTube videos, and I'm going to master this grill. Like I'm going to learn to grill, guys. Okay.
My
Not
husband is
YouTube
really good at
videos.
grilling.
Everybody's so creative.
I'm gonna paint your okay, because either I'm gonna have to get with somebody that owns a business that fixes shit, or because I'm frustrated. But we're not gonna talk about this. We're talk about this show. The stereotype. We want a man that fixes stuff.
Or can pay someone to get stuff fixed.
That part.
Oh, like that's cool. Like either or. But what I got going on, y'all? So I tell my kids we're gonna learn certain things because when certain things happen, I start getting frustrated and I want a husband. For example, y'all, the alarm, the house alarm, the battery was going out. It was like beep, beep, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, oh my god, out. So then I go to the panel and it sends me an email. It was so simple. I was like, okay, Jesus, I don't want to get married today. I got this because all I had to do is order the batteries, and then I got it fixed. But stuff like that just like it frustrates me. Like no, somebody else do it.
I was gonna say, last time we were on here, wasn't that you that had an issue with the garage door and wanted to get married?
Girl, yes.
So you want to get married as soon as you have to deal with something. I agree though, because
like what happened was I was getting ready to go to boot camp at 5:30 in the morning, y'all. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. I backed into the garage door while it was opening, right? And then the wheel came out of alignment. And I was like, then I tried to put it back myself. And then I took a picture and sent it to somebody. And they were trying to help me through the phone, but it pissed me off because you can't fix it through the phone, sir. And then I was
like, hurry up and get here. It's the only time you can come. And then you gotta go because my kids are coming home.
But I got it fixed because there was a number next to the garage door of the people who installed the door.
Oh.
I mean, and I was like, who needs a husband? But anyway, I went on a tangent. Felicia, what are you doing this weekend?
Nothing much. I am going to a graduation party. And I don't have big plans.
Everybody's graduating except my two small kids.
Is everybody
I did forget about
Monday?
that.
I'm off Monday.
Is everybody off Monday? Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm going to Jefferson this weekend. I'm taking
that's a small town.
I'm taking my laptop with me. I'm gonna be writing while my kids are with their grandparents. I think.
Jefferson, where? Jefferson,
Texas, honey. It's 2 hours away. So we leave on Friday and come back Monday. I'm coming back Monday as early as possible because I'm not gonna be in 20 driving. I'm just not. Oh, I got one more story to tell about when I wanted a husband this week. Okay, so my car, the oil light was flickering and it was not due for oil change. So I Google and Google tells you the worst shit, right? Your engine's gonna seize. So I go to the car dealership and I tell them what's going on. And he was like, oh, just put a small, thing of, because your car's a turbo and it eats oil, And I'm not going to come outside and show me. Show me what I need to do. And this man showed me. And I was like, oh my God, it's so simple. Who needs a husband? I went to Walmart. I got a small thing of oil. Pulled that bad boy up. And guys, I'm telling these stories because of our topic. Can
Yeah.
we move past the stereotypes? I mean, as an African woman, I ain't gonna lie, there's some things that are instilled in me. And as I'm raising my children, and when you have a son, that sometimes your mind changes a little bit because you don't want him to have unnecessary pressure that society places upon men and even women with these
Mhm.
stereotypes. So there's this big thing going on about traditional woman and then modern woman, right? When I think about that, I think of a balanced woman. Why can't we be traditional and modern? Why can't those two things coexist? I don't see why they can't. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it possible or am I dreaming?
I mean, I think it just depends on the mindset of the person who is passing judgment because, I mean, in today's times, we have to be both. You know, I feel like I'm the perfect example, I can be the breadwinner, but then I also come home and take care of my house and I do all this stuff. And I'm, at this time I'm single, so I'm more in a survivor mode. And a few men have said something to me about, oh, you're in your masculine phase. I'm like, I don't want to be in my masculine phase. Like, I want to come home and cook and clean and not worry about nothing. But I just feel like I just feel like it is the mindset of the man. And what I've been learning, it's an age group. Because there's one age group that I'm like, okay, I don't have issues with it. Like, okay, but they're like 47 plus. Like, I'm like, okay, well.
Mhm.
Well, I will say this: the issues I've had with men, because I think I share with you on my dating profile, it says that I'm a traditional woman. I don't do 50-50, right? I think I shared that with you guys.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a man to protect and provide. I put that on there for many reasons. And my main reason was that it weeds out certain type of men, right?
You know what? That's a good
And it
idea. I'm about to
only
change mine.
Girl, it works because you before I have 500 people and all trash. Now you have a select few. I'm just being honest. You have a select few, and they are businessmen, they are business owners, uh, professional men, all this type of stuff, right? And it's not that I'm looking for somebody to take care of me. I can take care of myself. But again, my background, I come from being raised in a traditional home. Now, my mom, right, she was a business owner. She started a business while my dad was sick. But there was one point when my dad was working and was a breadwinner. He got sick, and then she took over that, right? And so they train us to be educated and be traditional. That's what I grew up in. Felicia, Keisha got something to tell you, sister.
Oh, what did she say?
She said, Fifi, where the hell you going? Little fast ass.
Girl,
Basically,
away.
you
You know,
could.
Felicia is always going somewhere.
Yes. Okay, so
Um,
before we continue with this, guys, do you think we should watch the video?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Video,
I
I
haven't
love
watched
this
it.
video because I think it's a very necessary topic that we really, yeah. Okay.
I could not be broke, meaning I can afford my lifestyle in my one bedroom apartment. In the Altima that I've been driving since 2008, I'm not broke, right? I can maintain myself, I'm okay. But I think many times in society, what you find is that some guys are not comfortable with their woman outperforming them. That's the issue at hand. So if the gentleman has an apartment and I have a house, if he has the Ultima and I have a Benz, now it's, well, she's outperforming me. She's making more money than me. What is my value? What is my worth? A part of the problem is how we're defining masculine and feminine. That's a part of the issue in society, right? That a man is not really a man if he's not performing well financially. A woman is not really a woman if she's not cooking or cleaning or childbearing or whatever that looks like. So that's what I'm saying. We're in really murky waters between this traditional and modern. And now modern is used as a curse word. That's an insult. If you say these modern women, what does that mean? Masculine, hard to love, argumentative, right? Versus saying empowered and even like boss chick. We're kind of moving away from that. Now the terms are living a soft life. I want to live a soft life. So it's a pendulum, and I don't know what direction we're.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go just to trail on what you guys were talking about. Can you have both? I honestly, my honest opinion is no, because you'll never, it's like serving two gods. You're going to love one more than the other. You cannot be a homemaker and work. You can work and get somebody to clean the house, but it's like it becomes to where you're doing too much. Because being a mother, keeping a home is a full-time job. Working in a firm, being a boss chick or whatever, that's a whole different job and a whole different mindset. Are we in survival mode? Absolutely. Because of the cost of living and being single, you're in survival mode. You have to pay the bills. You don't have time to, you know, live this soft life. So you can do them both, but if you're doing them both, you can't do one better than the other. And you can say that you can, but I've been there. I've lived the life where I worked full time. In motherhood, raising my kids, they had to go to daycare. Um, some nights I didn't cook dinner. Some nights I mean, because that stuff is something's gonna suffer. That's just my opinion.
Some, I've been in that. I've been where you're talking about, Felicia, where you're working, and then there's this expectation placed upon you. Now, my ex is American, right? But he came from a home where he's, oh shit, I'm sorry, y'all. Did I say shit? I don't say shit. Well, he came from a home where his father did not work and his mother did. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's business. Okay. So not that he didn't work, he works. His father was an alcoholic, and so his mother was afraid that if he went out, he wouldn't come back home drink. So
Right.
this man laid on the couch. Okay. Now that wouldn't work for me. So he wasn't that person, but there was an expectation. And especially when the kids were small. But the way we divided it was like he would like I would work later, so and I worked a lot. So he would take care of the kids during the day. So they didn't have to go to daycare. So he felt because he was doing that, I had to do everything else. And so there are a lot of things that were neglected, right? And I began to resent him because I felt like he wasn't helping. And a lot of men, in my experience, I can talk about my experience, they are not helpful. They expect us to be superwoman. I must sleep with you at night, even though I'm exhausted. Okay, I must perform and swing from freaking chandeliers, and you are not helping.
Right.
If a man cultivates an environment where even if you divide the roles like that, but he's helping and he's a safe haven and he's doing other things, then you don't mind doing it. But when somebody's not helping, maybe bye. I'm
I
gonna go.
think I think with the stereotypes, I think first, I think we're talking about, are we talking about married couples or single couples or both?
Both.
We're talking about both, right?
Mhm.
So as far as married goes, I'll try to talk about both. But when it comes to a married couple, I think beforehand there needs to be some communication as far as what the roles are. And I don't think that's something that people who are getting married should shy away from, because I think, like Rabia, you can get frustrated when you are thinking a certain way and he's thinking another way, but you've never voiced it. And then the frustration comes in where, well, you never helped me. Well, you never do this. Well, you never do that. So I think the communication is key for those who are in the process of getting married. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah,
have
I
a
agree.
I have a friend who is married. She's been married 3 years now. But her husband, after the marriage, I don't want children. She was like, wait, I don't have any. And he's like, well, I have three. So I don't want, but they never talked about it beforehand.
And that's
So I
bad.
think communication is so, I mean, they're still married. She's dealing with the loss of non, whatever, anyway. But communication is so key as far as the stereotypes go in your own home of who does what or who does what or how can you help me here, so
Right.
that the parties don't get frustrated. And I totally agree, Felicia. When you are doing two, something suffers always,
Absolutely.
always. And I hate that for single moms or single
Yeah.
dads, because something is lost. You
Right.
know,
Because even
it
with
just
me,
is, because a
even,
mom becomes a mom and a dad, and you're doing
Right.
it all.
and you
Tanya's
know
doing
Right.
what's
it all.
worse is when you have a man in the house and you're still doing everything.
Yeah, she
Gosh.
got messed up. I ain't,
Oh,
no.
Man.
yeah. And
I
then,
mean, even
whew,
with help in the house, Rabia, because my husband, he was very helpful. Like, when your kids get of a certain age, it's like the games. Like we had scheduled, you take them to this, I'm gonna be at this, and then I'm gonna pick up here,
Right.
and he was helping, but it still was a lot because even though it was an unspoken, I need to take care of dinner. I need to make sure everybody's fed.
Right.
I need to make sure everybody's in the bed. And I would have to delegate responsibilities to him. Like, you need to help them with their homework because I got to cook dinner. So it's still, even though the help is there, it still is survival mode because, again, we're living in a time where it requires, it's not a luxury, it requires two incomes. Because when you have houses that are $400,000 and
Yes, exactly.
$500,000,
Come on.
that requires two. I mean, and these aren't extravagant homes; like they're just regular, regular
Exactly.
houses. So it's like that requires two incomes, and then you don't want to pay rent all your life because that continues to increase over the
Right.
years. So it's like, what do? You have to do both.
Yeah. Well, and with that, times have changed too, though. So, I think that a lot of people are set in that mindset that there has to be one, that there isn't a way to collaborate or there isn't a way to come to this compromise, like not have that unspoken truth. Let's unspeak the truth and let's say, hey, I'm not cooking every day. You got Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I got Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, things like that. And it comes with the communication. But I also think too that I still think it's the person you're dealing with. Sometimes at the end of the day, I do feel like it's the person you're dealing with because there are people that understand that and that want to make life easier. And I think this goes back to that whole 80-20 rule, or in a relationship, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 90-10, and to actually have that partner that's gonna be there with you and y'all decide and communicate, hey, this is what we're gonna do, this is what we're gonna get done. Now, I was a young mom, so I had my kids really young. So for my twenties, and then my early 30s, my daughter's 17, I'm 34. But with her growing up, me and her dad, I pretty much was the home provider. I mean, I kept a job, but I had a small job, or it wasn't really a small job, but like I worked with Rabia, I worked 12 to 9. He went from this time to that time. And by the time I came to work at 12, dinner was ready. All he had to do was warm it up. He gets home, he feeds the kids, picks them up, gives them a bath. Now we're getting ready for school. I come home, it's time for bed. Let's go to bed. So we had that partnership, and we worked really well together.
And I agree. I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. But if we're talking about being straight traditional, you
Yeah.
cannot be straight
We can't
traditional.
we can't
You
afford
cannot.
to.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You cannot be. I mean, because even though, in my marriage, it's that it's a lot of naturally unspoken things. Like, I don't take out the trash. I don't
Right.
put gas in the car. I don't take the car to get it fixed. I just say it needs to be fixed.
It needs to be
So
done.
it's a lot of things. The yard needs to be taken care of. This needs
Right.
to be
It's just,
done.
yeah, she's
It
right.
just needs to be done, and he does it. And it's like, and it's not that I don't view that in a negative way because I don't like my husband cooking, no way. But I don't view that in a negative way. It's just that that's what it is, and we cannot be. I'm not 100% traditional because I got kids cleaning up, husbands cleaning up, me cleaning up because it cannot. I mean, I cannot work a full-time job and do all that. I'm not Superwoman,
Yes.
and I'm
But
not
I
Yes.
trying to
tried
be.
to do it, okay? It did not
Yes.
work. I was burnt out and I became resentful. And
Hmm.
Tonya, my shift was much like yours, right? At
Right.
one point. And so I did the same thing, but there was this expectation. I did everything. And because he thought he was with the kids, he thought that he could walk on
Doing
freaking
something.
water. Like he didn't have to do shit.
Right.
Doctor's appointments, I did all that. Because
Yeah.
that's again, it goes back to let's define masculine and feminine. Okay,
Yeah.
masculine nowadays, you bring all the money in. Feminine, we cook, we have kids, and oh God, if you get a woman that's infertile, guess what happens? Oh, she's not feminine. But those are the stereotypes that are going on. If, like the
Yeah.
video, the woman was saying, if she has a Benz and he has an Altima, that's a problem in some cases. Or he looks like he has more money. I mean, she has more money than him. That's a problem. Now, what I've been okay. Let me read some comments before I continue. Overton Claiborne says partnership is key.
Yep.
And then he says communication is another key. Absolutely. Then
Right.
he says tradition is not yesterday's tradition.
That's what I was gonna say.
Listen, because
That's what I was gonna say. We need new definitions. We need new terms.
well, see, that's the thing. There's some things we're never going to change because it's just what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But by us communicating and talking about these things, maybe we can educate people. One of the ways to change stereotypes is to educate people. It's like, let's take my tradition, right? Where I come from. Women are taught to be wives, but they're also taught to be educated, right? I hear a lot of African American men saying, oh, I'm going to go to Africa and marry a Black African woman because they're submissive. No, baby. See,
They don't know you, Rabia. They don't know you, Rabia. They don't know you.
No, but listen though, I can be submissive. I'm not submitting to bullshit, but anyway, it's another story. But this is the thing: African men have been taught to be breadwinners, right? African women have been taught to be submissive, traditional, and educated.
Right.
So African women don't have an issue submitting to their husbands and being soft-spoken, but at the same time, they can take care of shit. Now, I can't stand it. The reason I get upset is because you're talking shit about African American women saying they don't do this, but you have not created an environment for them to do those things. So how dare you say you're going to go to Africa? Go to Africa with that mentality, baby, and see who's going to submit to what. They ain't submitting to shit.
A lot submission to me, when you say that, is to me is rooted in respect. A lot of these men you can't even respect. They can't. I've heard stories where women say, oh, I helped him pay his car note. You did what? Or I helped him pay his rent. You do what? So how can I respect you when I'm taking care of you? You know, at the very least, he needs to be able to fully take care of himself. And that was one of my big requirements. He needs to have his own place, his own car, and be able to say, I didn't care what kind of car, I didn't care what kind of place, but it had to belong to him, where he was showing financial responsibility. And a lot of these women are getting these men out of their mama houses and trying to make them
about me
submit to them. You know, you live with your mama, how am I going to submit to you? Because you can't even pay rent. You don't even know what bills are. You don't even know, so you have to, you're not dating a man you respect. So how can you say, I'm going to submit to you? I don't even respect you.
Now, I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she started dating this guy, and she called me and she said, hey, you know, he asked me for money.
What?
He asked me for to borrow $25.
No,
$25. Like,
and I was like, did you give it to him? And she was like, well, yeah. I was like, call him, tell him you want your money back. You don't loan money to dudes.
She gave him the money?
Huh?
Yeah.
He gave it back to her. He was like, wow, I didn't know it was a big deal. I'm sorry I gave it. But then he stopped seeing her. They stopped talking. Because I was like, no, he don't know. You figure it out. You don't ask her for money.
Okay, let me read some comments, guys. Your dynamic in your home is what the two heads of household come up with. True. I have a comment on Instagram. Men have to create an environment for women to feel safe enough to submit and trust him handling the house. Amanda, that's my friend Amanda. That is so huge. Because in my household, when I was married, I did not feel safe. And I did not respect him because I did not feel safe. I felt like he wasn't covering me. I mean, there's many things that happened that led up to that point, right?
Right.
And I was a hustler. I was naturally, because that's how we were raised. I was raised by an entrepreneur, and that's what she did. Like, she made shit happen, right? And so he used to say, oh, you Africans, you're greedy. Baby, if I don't do it, what's going to happen?
Right.
What's going to happen? I've worked 2 jobs.
Yep.
I've done that because I saw my mother, when my dad got sick and my mother started a business, I saw something built from the ground up. And I know that I have that in me to do that. It's not like I want somebody to take care of me. Like my dating profile, people think, oh, because men will ask me, and let me tell you all something. It is Black men that ask this foolishness. White men, Mexican men, foreign men never ask me, oh, what do you mean? No, it's only Black men that ask it. I swear that's been my experience.
Hey, what's your response so I know what to say when they say that to me? Because I changed mine.
I'm not getting into a war. If you don't understand the assignments, unmatch. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't respond. Don't respond.
No, for what? I'm gonna argue with you about what you're supposed to do. If I'm gonna tell you what you're supposed to do, I'm not gonna respect you. Like
That's
Jill Scott said, if you can tell me what to do, you can
You
tell
can
me
tell
what to
me
do.
what to
If you
do.
can't
yeah.
tell me what to do,
Mhm.
I
You
mean,
can't tell me what to do.
yeah.
And that's absolutely right. I mean, and then the part that you said about being safe. How can a man make you feel safe who does not pay the bills,
I
who
know.
does not
Yeah.
take care of things?
Yeah.
If I tell my husband today, I said, "Hey, my car is
Hey,
acting up,"
CJ.
and all he says is, "I got it." That's all he has to say is, "I got it," and I never think about it again. And I'll come in my car and it's fixed. So if that's something that makes you feel safe. But if every time
Exactly.
I tell you something or say, "Hey, this is going on," and you never get around to it, then how am I supposed to feel safe? How
I
you know?
know.
You
My
know.
Crazy.
my my girlfriend used to tell me, she said, we had to move something in her house. And I was like, hey, can you go get your husband, to help us? And she was like, no, I don't ask him to do anything anymore because he doesn't do it. Or he'll
Mm,
complain. So I just do everything myself. And me and
mm,
her live on
Oh,
like a big couch. And he
no.
was sitting down watching a movie.
Watch it.
and that's why you don't get no booty because you don't do girl bye.
See, and that
Mm-mm.
I honestly, I've maybe not been in the best relationships, but because I've been in like three major relationships in my life. My first two were, like it didn't end up good and stuff. But as far as like when it comes to like that type of things, never had an issue. This last one gave me a run for my fucking money, and I should have known, but I don't know. I don't even know what my problem was. I'm pretty sure it was
No, you
voodoo
were
or something.
dickmatized.
No, no,
Okay.
I wasn't. Trust me, no, I wasn't.
Joking. Joking.
No, I wasn't. I don't know. I'm telling you, it was voodoo, or maybe I
Okay.
actually did care for someone finally. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
after
I
going
do.
through that and putting up with that
Okay.
for 3 years, oh baby, I'll never in my life again because I've never had that issue. If I said, "Hey, the car is acting funny," my other two, like it's done. I don't even have to. Hey, I don't have no
Right.
gas. Didn't have to worry.
Right.
This one, I mean, the car would blow up before he never even looked at it. Hell,
Mm-mm.
I never appreciated that until I went through not having it, but being in a relationship. So for
Mm-mm.
me, that was a learning experience
Right.
that I never want to go through again. So now I sit back and I look at that to see, like, okay, it, I test them now, like, because I am openly dating, and I talk to, I got a little team. But I ask certain questions, and all those questions, it's like, hey, or I'll mention something, and or like, I just throw like a little something out there to see how they will respond to it, and
Mhm.
that tells you everything right there.
No, that's true
Yeah.
though.
That tells
Because
you everything.
listen, when I was married, the city gave us a notice about a tree. I think I ever shared this with you. And my ex called me and asked me, what should he do? Should I get up and then cut the damn tree down? Like, I mean, stuff like that. Like it was stuff. Now you have to understand. Now I come from an environment with super traditional, and I'm into this marriage. Never had those conversations that we talk about having, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know that I had to have the conversation. I just assumed, and I was young, right?
Right.
I never had those conversations about who's gonna do this. That I just thought because my whole life I saw this traditional, and then I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to get somebody to cut the tree down. I don't respect that shit. That's ridiculous. Let me read one more comment, guys. Amanda says, safe emotionally too. We have to feel safe to share our hearts. It's bigger than just handling bills. Y'all, that is so true.
It is
That's
true.
so true.
I agree.
But know this, that our kids are watching. Your kids are
Right.
watching how your dad treats your mom and how, oh, okay, well, he takes care of her that way. And they're going to be looking for someone to do that for them. Or
Right.
if he doesn't, which is kind of bad, because my girls be like, hey, dad, my car. Hey, dad, this. Hey, dad, I just got a letter from the IRS. Can you take a look? I mean, so my girls already know, okay, well, dad will take care of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So then when you marry into a situation and it's not like that, and then also in white culture, if you go something going on in your relationship, you don't say anything to anybody. So you hold the stuff. Girl, it's a lot of stuff. Sometimes, I feel like tradition is great, but I feel like we should be able to have a balance, even though it's difficult to balance, right? We have to be able to be the modern woman. At
But
least some parts of it has to be done, right? But how does one do it? How? That's the thing. How are we
the
effective?
key, the whole key to this, being a traditional woman fully requires him to fully be a traditional man. And the
Mm-hmm.
problem that I'm seeing is you want me to fully be a traditional woman
Well
Mm-hmm.
done.
while you
That's
want to be
right.
half of a traditional man.
Mm-hmm.
You
Right.
want me to work and do all the traditional stuff while
Right.
you work and do some of the traditional stuff. It
Yeah,
doesn't
it
work
can.
Yeah.
like that.
It's got a two-way. It's got to be a two-way
It's
street.
both. Because if you're a fully traditional man, I'm not touching a bill. I'm not paying for any.
Exactly.
I don't even know. The lights are magic. I don't know how that
I don't
happened.
know how they come off.
So I mean, but that's a fully traditional man. So you can't ask me, and that's a hard conversation my husband and I had. Really wasn't hard, but I said if I'm doing 50% of the work outside of the home, you need to do 50% of the work inside of the home,
Yeah,
because now we're no longer a traditional family.
right.
I mean, that's true though. If you're gonna want to do that and you want me to be all these things, then you need to be all those things.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need to read one more comment. Amanda says, "My grandfather was a traditional man and me." See, back in those times though, when they said, "Oh, marriages are not what they used to be," and women just stuck it out, it's because a lot of people put up with some bullshit. We let men cheat. We didn't leave. Now let me talk about my background. I saw some stuff in African tradition. Polygamy is accepted. Now let me make something clear. Just because I'm an African, guys, to my future husband out there, I will not accept that bullshit. Okay, let's make that. Just because I come from that background does not mean I will deal with that shit because I'm not. Okay, but what I saw was uh, there was no divorce because of cheating. It's because it always seems like to me that men are weaker in their flesh, and so they just do those kind of things, and we just accept that. That's just what it is because
Yeah.
they are the man and bullshit.
Well,
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you to a certain extent, Rabia. But I think I've had this conversation with Deborah before. But the way back then, what a lot of people don't understand, women did not have rights. We could not get a car. We had to have a man to sign for us. We could not get a credit card. We
Mm.
could not get a house. So a lot of those women, again, were in survival mode.
That's
It's
true.
like I have to put up with this bullshit because I can't get a car. I
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
nowhere to
So
go.
true.
You know,
So true.
I have absolutely nowhere to go. So it was a trap. It was a setup and a trap.
Right.
And men use that to their advantage. They're gonna do what they want to do because I know you ain't got nowhere to go. And do you actually think a woman would take a beating if she
Mhm.
had somewhere to go? Or she would take all this if she has somewhere to go. It usually is a circumstance where she has nowhere to go. She has no choice. I have 5 kids. I can't feed these kids by myself. I can't even get us a house or an apartment by myself. If I
Right.
don't have a father or a brother in my life, I'm not gonna be able to provide for my kids. So yeah, I think it was a stuck. So the relationships of back then cannot compare to the relationships of now. It's two totally
Mhm.
different things.
That's
We're
true.
living in different times. Two totally
Yeah,
different times.
I agree.
Okay, I have a comment to read. Pamela says, "But do we really expect to not be disappointed?" I can't see. Girl, I need my glasses. In relationships and marriage, of course, I expect to be disappointed because what I've come to understand is that love and pain can coexist. There's no perfection, right? What we really talking about is can we have a balance in this? And yes, I'm not staying with a man that's no, I can't. I just for me, I can't because I'm not gonna trust you. And if I don't have trust, I don't have peace. If I don't have peace, I have anxiety. I'm not doing it. I need to read other comments. Overton Claiborne says, then why be in a relationship with someone that's not doing what you want? A lot of times we don't know until we get into it because we were young when we chose our husbands. I ask for myself. I don't know.
You don't ever, and a lot of people are delusional. You don't ever know everything about a person.
Thank you.
It's some stuff that
Thank
I've been married.
you.
It'll be 25 years in July. My husband told me
Thank
some stuff
you.
yesterday, and I was like, "You did what?"
You did what?
So you,
Exactly.
I didn't know. I said, he said, "You didn't know that." I didn't know that. Like, wow. So you will never know everything. And it's not that they're hiding. It's just, how can I know everything that happened in your childhood, everything that happened? You're just not going to know that. You're just not.
Okay.
Or you find the person that you're very gullible for and you believe everything they say and they know how to use you.
Yeah.
I
Well,
Because
think
they know
I think
you're
it
not gonna be
changes
smart
though.
and you're
I
not going
think
to do
it changes. The stereotype or things may shift in the household, change over years. Like when you're young, maybe it was a certain way, and then it shifts because hey, you need to go
You're a
work.
different
I need to be at
person.
home. Me and
Absolutely.
William have always lived a non-traditional. I do not cook. I do not like cooking. I do not desire it.
But it works for your
So,
Kim. I've
but
seen you.
I cleaned the house, and he
Yeah,
cooked.
that's what I'm saying. I
So there
mean,
was there you go.
it works for y'all. And I mean, I've seen, I've known you for a long time.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So that works for you guys.
Yes.
I personally want to be the cooker because
Yes, Rabia, because you are a fantastic cook. Please
say
make
that
me
Right.
some
louder, girl,
tuna.
for the people at the back.
Please make me some tuna and something with curry in it,
I
please.
can do that. But I'm saying
I
I like
love
to do
it.
that. Like I want to be working in the house. Now, when you cutting grass outside, honey, I'll bring you some cold water and I'll be there with you. I will cheer you on and support you. I can do that for a couple minutes. I ain't saying
I
that's
ain't
a
cut
long
no grass.
time. Okay.
No,
Let me read some.
I will. I like it.
Okay.
but that's something you
Okay.
enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because to me, it's a workout. I sweat. That's the only reason I'll do it.
No, I'm not cutting grass. I can't, girl. I can't do it. Okay, let me read some more comments. What if that man doesn't know anything about fixing a car? Then he needs to be able to pay someone to fix the car.
Somebody.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Pay somebody. My husband don't know nothing about no cars,
But he know
but he
where to
knows
take
how to
it.
take it to the place to fix it.
CJ says, "Who wants to answer for CJ? We need to help CJ because he's so much younger than us, y'all. Have you did about the traditional woman because that's all I hear you talk about? Can you explain what that is, honey?
Traditional, because that's what you talk about. A traditional, when they say traditional woman, it's like women who stay homemakers, stay at home, handle the house, handle the kids, cook, clean, all that. Modern woman is a woman who does both. I say does both because regardless, we still work. We still have to
Right.
take care of the house. We still have to take care of the kids
Hmm.
because if we don't, there's nobody else that's going to do it. And
Right.
then I
They
guess
know,
that's what.
yeah. So that's
Then you have the
basically what it
boss
is.
chick that don't care about a household. They just work.
Yeah. And then there's yeah. There you go.
I just
What
think that honestly, I guess in the phase of my life, I'm all about balance. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to think what Felicia said. It is hard to combine that unless you have those conversations. I feel that those hard conversations have to be had. I guess at this point in our lives, at the age that we are, we understand that, right?
Right.
But it's those young people that are getting into relationships that are so like, because you know those feelings of being in a relationship. Oh, I really like him and I adore him and oh my god. But we don't think about those times when those feelings fade because they're going to fade and reality is going to set in. And you're not going to like how he chews, how he breathes. I mean, those things happen, right? In relationships. And to me,
Yeah.
love is not a feeling. So those conversations need to be had.
But another conversation that people don't understand, I'm not the same woman I was when you married me.
Mm-hmm.
Girl,
Yeah,
When you married me, I had no kids, I had no life experience.
exactly.
I'm 3 kids in. I'm a totally different woman. And my
Mhm.
husband says, "You remember when you used to do this or used to do that?" I'll be like, "Yeah, that
Come
was
on.
Felicia 10 years ago."
Come on.
You know, just like it's certain things my husband used to do that he doesn't do anymore. And it's not negative. And and I think people take it in a negative connotation. It's not. It's just that you grow as a person and you change because there's certain things that I used to like or didn't used to like that I do like, so it's just
I
that you
know.
evolve over time. Like being a mom, there's certain things, certain clothes I don't wear because I'm somebody's mama. It's certain things I don't do because I'm somebody's mama. As opposed to when I wasn't somebody's mama, my whole perspective was different. So,
Yes.
it's just that we evolve. I say evolve over time, not change.
no, you're
We
right.
evolve.
It's so funny. William told me the other day, he was like, remember when we first got married and you used to massage me? He said, now I have to go somewhere and get a massage. I said, yeah. And they do a good job.
Yes.
They do a good
Yeah.
job.
Yeah.
But
Oh God.
how about the men who have hangups if a woman makes more money than him?
Oh girl.
Mm.
That is very real.
To
It's
No.
some
hard.
men, that's emasculating them.
Yeah.
It's hard.
You know,
I lie about
especially
it
if they
now.
use money. No, especially if they use money as a control feature.
Yeah.
Like, I pay for
Yeah.
this, I do this, I take care of you. If they use it as a control feature and you make the money, they can't control you with money.
Hmm.
Oh, look at CJ. He said hot girl summer starts next week. It's about to be a whole lot of mamas stepping out of their elements.
He's in the front row ready for it.
Okay.
I was talking to my niece once, and she was telling me how hard it was to date because of her position and because of how much money she makes. Men were turned off by it all the time.
I lie about it now.
But you know what? Most men don't care how much money you make. I've noticed, unless he makes less than you, like you were saying.
Yep.
But a lot of men, I mean, high men that earn a lot of money, they don't really
Mhm.
give it. They don't care when when you
And I
come to them. Mm-mm.
and I found that men, because I was talking to one of my friends, um, she did not realize she was middle class because she was talking about, things that we like to do as you get older. There are things you like to do. She was like, me and my girlfriend went to brunch and spent $200, and he liked to have gagged. And I was like, did you know, and did y'all know that the average person, black male, makes around $37,000 a year?
No.
Right. That's the average. If that's average, I make well above average, and my husband makes well above average. So depending on where me and my husband, where we fall into our tax bracket, we're there together. And he doesn't know to the dime what I make, but he's not intimidated. He's even encouraged me to try to make more.
Yes.
He's encouraged me to try
That's
to make
good.
more, so that for him, that's not offensive. And when you think of a man, when you start getting into different tax brackets, I can see that being a problem.
Yeah.
Because where I may go spend $100 on brunch and you making $40,000 a year, you're like, we can't do that,
We can't do that.
and
Right.
it's
Exactly.
a mental state. Like, we can't afford to do, babe, why you buying them $1,000 shoes,
Right.
because the money, the thought is different on money.
Yeah.
Whereas with my husband, it's different. It's like, oh yeah, I spent $100 on brunch. He's like, oh okay. Or I'm going to go do this. He's like, oh okay. But if I had a husband that was making $40,000, he'd be
Right.
like, wait a minute, baby, hold up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't
Yeah.
do that.
Right.
And I was on a date and he had pointed out my nails and I was like, oh, thank you. They're like, yeah, I keep my nails pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like those must have cost a lot. I'm like, I thought I was like, well, I can afford it. So
Yeah,
he's
right,
like, well, he's like, you definitely don't go to the hood place. I'm like, oh, hold on now.
Wow. Really?
Wow, you noticed
right,
this, okay?
right.
That was too much. He was too invested in your damn nails.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
Like that would
Like,
have put me off.
Yeah. You still
are you
invested.
afraid I'm about to
Yeah.
ask you for the money for it? Because I was.
Right.
You noticed? Oh, you noticed my nails? You like them? You like them? I
Right.
need help paying for them now.
No, but you know
Right.
what? Yeah. What color do you want me to wear, sweetheart?
Yeah. How
Right.
do you like them?
How do you
Right.
want them done? Mm-hmm.
Right.
Overton said if
Right.
a woman makes more than me, that's cool. Yeah.
I mean,
Stephen says the men that get offended by that be the ones try to flex their money. Trust me, it's a lot of ninjas out here that's getting money, but they're just some lame a ninjas. It's all a stunt.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I agree 1,000%.
I mean, y'all. I could
I
tell
I used to have this thing that I didn't like. If I wouldn't date guys that had really nice cars, and I also wouldn't date guys that wore a lot of labels, because I felt
Mhm.
like that's where they put their interest and they put their efforts into. Because if you're out and you got a Gucci hat and a Gucci belt and a Gucci this and that, it was a turn off to me, because it's like, okay, this person is invested in showing people what kind of money they have. I
See,
like the guy in the hoopty with money,
yep.
because he's not invested in showing off to other people what he has. But
agree.
that's
If
just
the stuff
preference.
is real.
Right.
Because first I'm gonna look and see if it's real. Because if it's fake, now I still can't talk to you because that's just not cool.
Right.
No, I mean, a man that dresses nice is nice though.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's nothing wrong with dressing nice now. Smelling good and dressing good and good teeth. Those are the things that are like top tier for me.
Overton says money can't buy you a great relationship. And then CJ says, "Oh, you want a ninja that thugging in a cutlass."
No.
Hey,
I may be a little picky though, which I feel I earn the right to be picky at this age anyway. There's something
you can find men that have class though. You know, they don't have to be in the Gucci belt, but they can be dressed really nice and, like you said, smell really good. And it's like, okay, and how they carry themselves, it's like, okay,
right.
they're class.
Brush their teeth.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Go to the dentist.
Go to the dentist and get their teeth clean. Y'all, you would be surprised.
Very surprised. Very surprised. And I look, as soon as y'all start talking to you, I look at that bottom gum right there because I've ran into so many and it's all caked up like ew.
Like you've never had a cleaning. Yes.
Ever.
Don't do that.
You're like 40.
Go get your teeth clean, baby. Go get your teeth clean.
So, guys, we have a question from Instagram. Pamela says, how do you decide on valid deal breakers in or before dating?
How do you decide on deal breakers?
How do you decide on valid deal breakers in or before dating?
Okay, so me personally, I know my deal breakers. I think you have to decide on what you want and what you're looking for. Like I can't tell you what your deal breakers are because like my deal breakers is no kids because I can't have none, don't want none. Too many kids, and then like certain little things like the whole tartar buildup and you know just like to me those are like the main thing. Those are my main things, and then just kind of having those conversations and asking questions. And to me, what I do, I kind of use my career tactics on them. I'm in sales, so I ask open-ended questions, and if you let him talk, he's going to talk and he's going to tell you everything you need to know. Just let him talk.
And I think for me, Pamela, because I was married for so long, there's some things I just won't accept because of that. And there's some things I'm not negotiating. Honey, we are not compromising. I don't want to say what my deal breakers are because sometimes when people are watching, they could use that shit against you, and we're not doing that. Because they're morphing to what you want or what you know what I'm saying? So we're not doing that. But I have very many non-negotiables, and a lot of times I let people tell it to me before I tell it to them. And you can hear, about conversation. Or if a man asks me, what are you looking for? I'm looking for a man that has high self-awareness. What does that mean? You have high self-awareness. Don't ask me what that means.
Go look it up. Go look it up. Get back with me.
Certain things, I want someone who's compassionate. And then as you see him in day-to-day things or in different situations, then that real personality is going to morph. Because let's be honest, we all are representatives in the beginning. We are avatars until shit happens.
I think but I honestly think some deal breakers I think it's all subjective to the per person because there are certain things like, okay, he homeless. No, that's a deal breaker.
No.
But I mean, there's certain things that you was like, well, I usually don't go for this type, but he has this, and this. So I think it can be subjective sometimes. Now you do have those deal breakers that are like non-negotiable, like it's just not going to be negotiable. Right. But I think there are some that you could be like, well,
I mean,
one of my things I always said is I do not ever want to marry, talk to, date, whatever a man with a gold tooth. William Drake smiling right there, gold tooth. I'm like,
the one that has like the frame around the tooth, not the
trim or gold trim.
Gold teeth. What's wrong with the gold teeth, Kim? Ain't nothing wrong with
William got that gold tooth removed, baby. I just want to say I can't do the gold.
You know why nobody would go?
I have a gold tooth, Kim.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Where?
back here. It's a
Oh
crown.
boy. Okay.
That's different. That's a big.
Right, he was like, it was like
No.
sparkling while he was smiling, like,
Okay, what if he had a diamond on his tooth, Kim?
oh. But that was a deal breaker for me. But I still went out with William. I still ended up dating William for 2 years and marrying William. So it worked out for me. But I mean, at first it was like,
that was your deal breaker. And that's what I mean. Like some stuff is a deal breaker, but it can be negotiated. Or if it's not a serious deal breaker, because we have some deal breakers that are like, come on now. That's no. It's like some of my deal breakers will not even get you a date, will not get you a phone number, will not get you nothing. But then there's some that I'll be like, well, I typically don't like that, but I'll try,
yes. So Tonya, maybe if you just say, hey, I have a friend who's a dentist.
No, I'm not doing that.
No, I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not talking to you because now I'm staring at your mouth the whole time.
And then your breath stinks. I can't do
Oh, yes. Oh, there's always the ones that want to kiss on you too.
Right. Oh my God. And then you don't even brush your tongue. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Scrape your tongue. Everybody needs to have a tongue scraper, guys. That's just.
I do.
I just don't understand how grown men can live like that.
Metal one. They listen to it. It's shaped like a U.
Thank you.
I have one.
And they always be the one that's trying to kiss you. You're right.
Yes. Ooh.
And let me tell you, I cannot stand someone that tries to kiss me on the first date. I will fight. I don't like that.
You want to fight? You will fight them.
No, because if I don't know why you feel so comfortable to try to kiss me on the first date. Why? No. Because then you bobbing and weaving like you're boxing. Baby. Nah. I can't do it. I don't like that.
I'm over it now though.
Yeah, because stuff like brushing your teeth and getting like, come on now, those are just basic shit.
My deal breaker was before I got married was no kids because I didn't have any kids. But my husband ended up finding out after we dated for 2 years that he had a son. He said he found out like she literally was pregnant when we first met and he didn't know it. So there you go.
So you didn't stay together?
No, that's another whole podcast.
Oh, okay.
But no, they didn't date. Let's just say that.
Oh God. Like I was on this one dating site and a Nigerian man came forth. Okay, I say came forth, but anyway, and he was like, "Okay, you'll be my main chick, but then I'll have somebody else, and I'll have sex with that woman until you're ready, because I don't believe that you're going to have sex immediately. But if you agree," he said, I'm like, bye. And plus, you're 5'2". Good day.
Oh, I was gonna say, and how much money does he have? Because
he was a nurse practitioner, but with psychiatry. I don't give a damn how much money he made.
Yeah, is height a big deal for you guys?
Thank you.
It is now.
What is a big deal?
Height.
You know what? I went on a date with a guy that was 5'7". Okay. But when I went, I had to wear low shoes. I did it on purpose. Because remember, my ex was 6'5", right?
Right.
So I'm used to being able to wear whatever heels I want to. That was very different for me.
Yeah, did you like it?
Huh?
Did you like it?
And it wasn't because of the height. It
wasn't that.
It wasn't because of the height. There was the other thing. I don't like when I go on a date with a man and he starts making sexual innuendos, but jokingly. No, sir.
Oh, I hate that.
To me, you're being disrespectful towards me. That's disrespectful. And so when you start talking out the gates like that, so no.
I don't date men shorter than me, period. End of discussion.
How tall are you, Felicia?
5'2".
Well, girl, yeah, you can't. I mean,
no, you can't. If you shorter than 5'2", we can't be together.
That's short. That's me. I'm sorry.
I need to read the comments. Pam said, "Shorties are deal breakers." Sorry. No, but I mean, like my daughter always tells me.
For me, he can be 5'4". That's not short to me. But
you can't wear no heels though.
5'2", under 5'2".
Yeah, that's it.
No.
My daughter always says, "Mom, but you 5'4". So what do you mean? I'm like, your dad was 6'5". Like I want to be able to, when I hug you, stand on my toes. Can I at least do that?
Mm,
You know what? Yeah.
yeah, I don't need
No,
all that.
6'4" is good, sir. 6'4", yeah, that's good. I like 6'4". I like 6 feet too. I like 5'11". But 5'7", that was pushing it for me.
I'll take a 5'7".
Well, you
It
five
depends. I
two.
think it depends. There's a few factors I would have to.
Pam says most times short men have a complex and it shows. Hey, what about the ones that are getting out of these trucks that they need ladders to get into or stepping? Hey,
Short man
Don't
complex.
don't,
They
don't
do
talk
have
about me.
complexes.
Short men need love too. The short
Yes,
men
they
need
do.
love. They need love.
Pam
They
says shorts
do.
equals under 5'9". Oh, okay.
No, that's not true.
Pam,
I could do 5'7" and above.
Mm. My dad was short, and he's a wonderful man.
He is. I
no,
can
So
I'm
I
attest.
mean, yeah,
He's
I
he's
you know.
awesome. Two thumbs up from Uncle.
just
So
saying. I want a man that I can go on my tippy toes to kiss you. I think that's cute.
that's crazy. Why is that a requirement? I gotta stand on my tippy toes to kiss you.
So it's not a requirement. I would like it. It's
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, okay.
It's
Okay.
nice.
It's nice. Like giraffes. That's what Pam says. I mean, but honestly, as I have gotten older and healed some of those ridiculous things that I wanted, I don't want anymore.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I would not talk to a man because he's freaking 5'7". Like I'm joking about this stuff, but I would not
Right.
because you might meet
Right.
the most amazing man that's
Yeah.
5, even 5'6", and that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Like so, there's not
Yeah.
like a deal breaker because for me, I need to see if the person is emotionally stable, your mental health, all that stuff is important. So,
Above
ladies,
all else, it's how he treats you. Above everything or anything he
Yeah.
can do, it's
and
how he treats you as a
yes,
woman.
and I don't need to be having no butterflies. If I have butterflies, I'll never see you again, sir, because that's my anxiety saying tick, 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 tick. That's anxiety. That's not cute. That's why I can't say when people say, "Oh, I miss have butterflies." Baby, you better run. Your nerves is telling you leave this joker alone,
Leave this joker
but you
alone.
don't want to. Oh, one of the guys said that they can do jumping jacks. I can. Okay, backflips, hang from chandeliers. I guess. Okay, sir. So guys, we need to wrap it up. We're at 8:02, but
Mhm.
my final question, I guess, final thoughts. Um, I think if I ask this question, it's going to a whole tangent. Should I ask this question? Do you think that we can stop gender stereotypes in society? Do you think that that's just a losing battle?
Yes. I don't think that will
Yeah.
ever stop. I
Mm.
don't think that will ever morph into something else.
No.
So you're saying it's good to have the conversation, but it's not going to change.
Yeah, exactly. I
Mm.
can't see it changing.
Yeah. What about you, Tonya?
I don't see it changing at all either. I mean, it'd be nice if we had more of an understanding. Maybe that's where it comes into the education of how to handle a relationship and maybe more, yeah, maybe, how to handle dealing with other people and, and how to compromising. But it's not going to change until people, nobody's going to change your mindset until you're ready to change your mindset. And
Yes.
a lot of older or certain period men see it one way and that's the only way they see it. So, all we can do is educate the future and hope that,
Yeah.
they stop seeing us as masculine because we actually aren't house bearing or children bearing wives.
Right. Felicia?
Yeah. I don't ever see them going away. We had stereotypes in the Bible. So, and here
Yeah.
we are. So I
I
don't
want to
think
read.
stereotypes will ever go away.
I want to read a comment. Pam says gender roles is hard to break because most people enjoy benefits from both perspectives.
That's
And that
true.
is a fact, sis. You on that? That is a
Yep.
fact. Um,
Yep.
I do want to say this though,
mhm,
because I think that society is trying to move away from gender roles. I think that that is in the climate right now as far as our society goes. And they're trying to catch this wave of no more gender, no more gender, no more gender.
Girl, you
You
talking
know,
about
so
the
I
stuff.
just don't see that as, I mean, I know it's right now, it's the topic and it's the hot topic, and but I just can't see it moving as fast
Right.
as this up and coming generation wants it to. You know what I'm saying?
I
Mm-hmm.
agree with you, Kim, but I'd like to add that I think if we develop empathy for each other, if we try to put ourselves in each other's shoes and see it from each perspective, right? Because, like I said, I have a son, right? And I look at the stuff that he has to learn that I have to teach him as a woman, as a mother, and the weight that we put on men. But we also have weight on women as well. So let me make this clear. I'm not saying I'm just advocating for men because I have a son. I'm just talking from that perspective at the moment. Because I had to change some things, right? Even in my household. One of the things I noticed that I did was, say if I was making dinner and I was serving my kids, right? Say if I always served him first. And I one day I realized, I said, hey, wait a minute. Because I come from the culture where men eat first and then women eat second. And now I have two daughters that I'm raising, with which I want to create a balance. And I have to step back and say, I don't have to serve none of them kids. They're old enough to serve themselves. So that's how I was able to check myself and stop doing it, because y'all, literally, I was serving this boy first. There was no thought that they're females, that's why I'm doing it. But I had to ask myself, what is the motivation behind it? Why am I doing that? So I think if we are honest with ourselves about the whys and also be empathetic to the plight, I guess, of both genders, I think we could make some traction. But I don't think it would change either. So I agree with you ladies on that point. It ain't gonna change. And my son is in the background saying, "Ooh, that's funny." Anyway, guys, I enjoyed you ladies. I will see you guys next week. And thank you for the audience that watched. Thank you, Pam, for coming on, for everybody on Facebook. Oh, somebody on Instagram says, don't serve me first. I'd rather she eat first. Okay, so you got 10 points now. Okay.
Yeah. Jump in her DM.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Oh,
Right.
bye.
Bye.